All right, going live. As promised, I wanted to talk a little bit about the shooting that happened in California 2 days ago. And then there was a knife attack at the University of Texas in Austin yesterday. So I wanted to talk a little bit about both of those. We'll chat a little bit here, let a few people join on. Please share this, get it around, let people join. But before I talk about the shooting and the knife attack, letting people get on, I want to do a shout out to all of the instructors and the others that were there at the Korean Martial Art Festival a week ago. Such a fantastic weekend. I flew in on Thursday and I did a session on Thursday night. 4 of us instructors did. And then my session was Saturday, but there were other sessions Friday, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning. Great time, great group of people. So I encourage you in the future, if you are a martial artist, especially a Korean martial artist, get down to the Korean Martial Art Festival hosted by Thomas Gordon in Crestview, Florida. He has it every spring, usually in April. Hope to see you there next year. But, let's talk right now a little bit about, the shooting and then the knife. So those that might not know, in California 2 days ago in the La Jolla area, down by San Diego, a guy is sitting by a pool talking to his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend that just broke up, and he starts shooting people. The police are called, and then he was actually killed by the law enforcement. I believe he killed 1 and wounded 7 or 8 other people that were wounded. And this guy actually had the time to reload his firearm and shoot some more before they finally killed him. And this is one of the reasons in the active shooter response classes that I teach, I talk about knowing what firearms are and knowing how they operate. Knowing that when the slide is back on a handgun, it's empty and he has to reload. Because those are the times that you can then get away, escape to safety, or maybe attack back and stop that guy when he doesn't have a loaded firearm. So it's important to know and be familiar with different kind of firearms, even if you're a person that doesn't want to shoot, doesn't want to own a firearm. Those are your choices. I personally believe we have the constitutional right in America to own firearms, and I'm going to own them. I'm going to know how to operate them. I'm going to know how to operate them safely and responsibly, and I believe that anybody that owns one should. But I think everyone should at least be familiar with them, so if they're in a situation where a firearm is being used, they have some understanding. And that's one of the things I teach in the classes I teach, and that's why I teach that. Now, yesterday, we had a guy walking around the University of Texas campus with a very large knife. It was in a sheath on his belt, but he stabbed 4 people. 1 was killed. 3 others were injured. And from my understanding, the reports that I looked at, 2 of them were released from the hospital, but 1 was kept in the hospital, a little more severe injuries. And then again, 1 person was killed. Law enforcement apprehended and arrested the individual. On both of these situations, motives aren't known yet, at least not that I have seen. So, and it really doesn't matter to me and the training that I'm doing of what the motive was when you're in the situation. Now, when we look at threat assessment, before a situation starts, motive is important. And one of the things I discuss in the classes and I write about are looking at situations that maybe would lead to you believing that there could be a potential threat. This one guy had the breakup with his girlfriend. Breakups, divorces, firings, those kind of situations sometimes set people off, and that can elevate the threat potential. Now, the one guy with the knife yesterday, there was reports that he... You guys still there? I just had a phone call. My phone upstairs is ringing too, so I'm going to ignore those for right now. I think it was a school automatic phone call is why it was coming through. I'll check it after this live thing. Okay. So, okay, we're still here. Good. So I'm talking about the threat. This guy, he was arrested for a DUI or something like that recently, and people said he started acting strange after it. And those are things that we can look at when we're talking threat assessment. You know, when we notice different behaviors with people, maybe we need to put a little closer look at them. People like Cho from Virginia Tech, there were tons of warning signs, and he kept slipping through the cracks before he committed the atrocities that day at Virginia Tech. So those we want to notice beforehand so we can maybe avoid those threats or cut them off. But once the shooting starts or the stabbing begins, then we have just those three basic principles that I teach in the triangle that will work for any of these kind of threats. It doesn't have to be a shooter. It could be a knife. It could be some other weapon. But looking at escaping, that's always a great choice if it's available. You know, distance between you and a person with a knife will save your life. Get away, escape. And that's why when we're aware of our exits. We're aware of where we could escape to. We're aware of things that we could get behind that would stop bullets or stop a person with a knife. Grabbing a chair, keeping a chair between you. Getting around a table, keeping something between you and that person with a knife can save your life. So that's a little bit about escaping and moving into the next, denying that person access to you. Getting behind something, something between you and that person can save your life. You deny them access to be able to stab you. You deny somebody access to shoot you by getting behind cover, something would stop bullets, by locking him out of the room or the area that you're in. And last, we attack back. And if we have that awareness, we can then be a little bit more prepared to attack back if we have to. Remember earlier I said that the guy with the firearm in California actually stopped to reload. That was a time to maybe attack and stop that person when he didn't have ammunition in the firearm. Or it was a time to maybe better your escape and get out from behind the cover you found and escape even farther away from the danger zone. The guy with the knife. We don't have to attack back barehanded. I'm not saying people have to learn how to defend themselves unarmed against weapons. That takes a lot of training and can still be difficult. But there are things such as fire extinguishers. A fire extinguisher blasting a guy, that will go farther than he can reach with a knife. You can get something else to throw at him or pick up, I said the chair, something like that you can attack back with that gives you the distance and keeps you out of the cutting range. So we need to have that kind of thought process, not just that, I have to become a ninja and be able to take a knife away from a person. That's not always going to happen. Last ditch effort, yes. Unarmed against a knife, if you have some skills, can save your life. Even if you haven't trained, grabbing a hold of that guy's hand and keeping that knife away from you while someone else bashes him in the head with something big and heavy, that can stop an attack as well. One of the things I teach in the live classes for the Survive a Shooting is to stack at a doorway. And if a person comes in with a weapon and you have a partner with you, the first person grabs the weapon and goes down toward the floor with it as the second person smashes the guy. Okay? So you learn those kind of concepts and it can keep you alive. And so it doesn't matter if it's a gun, a knife, a club, any other of these kind of weapons, the same overriding principles can keep you alive. And that's first and foremost awareness. And then it's knowing how to escape, knowing how to deny access, knowing how to attack back and stop that person. So I just wanted to put that out. And if people have questions, I see some things going by and I don't even know if I caught them all. I might have missed some. But if we have some questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Want to know who's watching your live video. We don't need to do that. Greg joined. Different people are joining. All right, so I don't see any questions yet, but anybody got some questions or anything, comments that maybe I didn't say regarding the incident yesterday with the knife or Sunday with the firearm at the pool? I see Colin Peter, James join, Ramphis Marquez join, Vinny. Hey Ramphis, it was really good seeing you and looking forward to our next time. I hope you got those posters I sent down there to Virginia. And for those of you who don't know, one of the things I provide with the live trainings is I have these really nice posters. And I've shown them before on live videos, and you can see them on the website, Survive and Defend. But those posters help reinforce the concepts that I teach and talk about. All right, so I'm not seeing too many questions, and I got to keep this short. I do got to go find out what that phone call was. I heard them leaving a message upstairs. I shut this one off, and I got to go get my daughter here pretty soon. But I definitely wanted to talk about these things. I once read that the most common blade used in a knife attack is a box cutter. Is that true? I'm not 100% sure. I would suspect the most common blade used is a kitchen knife with domestics. And if you talk to a lot of law enforcement, a lot of knifings, they're not the tactical folder or the ninja blade or the military style knife. They're kitchen knives in domestic disputes that are often used. Now, box cutters, I don't know where they fall in the range. I really haven't looked at the research. We do know that box cutters were one of the ones used in the 9/11, attacks. So it's not always going to be your tactical folders or your military style knives, that's for sure. Where box cutters lay, I don't know. I do know kitchen knives are in there. I do know that the guy yesterday, he supposedly had a large hunting knife. It was carried on a sheath on his belt, and it was a larger hunting knife that he used. Thanks for that question, Vinny. And again, if I find out more about that, I'll post it on the website or post it in a post somewhere if I find out if box cutters are the most common or what maybe are. Hey, you're very welcome. Any other thoughts or questions on some of the stuff that we happen? And I know, only a few come on here live and they go in and out, but, a lot of people will be watching this afterwards. And that's, the statistics for Facebook show that more people watch after than actually watch live. And that's great too. Put the comments in afterwards and I will respond to comments and answer the comments as you put them on later as well. So if you missed this live but still have a question or a comment, please put it on there, because I will go through and answer things and reply to comments that are left. And I appreciate the little thumbs up, and I appreciate people sharing this around. Help this information get out there. My goal is to help as many people stay safe in a common sense way. I don't want to be a fear monger and make people scared. I want to help people enjoy life, but to do so safely by being aware. Get your head out of your apps. Don't be walking around like this. Look up, look around, notice good things, notice potential bad, notice your exits, notice things that could help you if needed, and enjoy life. That's what I'm all about. And that's what I try to teach in live programs. That's what you'll find on my videos. That's what you'll find on my blogs. And that's what you'll find in these live broadcasts. If there's something you want me to talk about in some of these live videos, shoot me a note. Facebook Messenger, give me a note, and I'll do a live broadcast on something that you asked me to. I'm all about answering questions and trying to help people be more safe. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now because I don't see any more questions at the moment. And I sort of said the main things I wanted to. Enjoy life. Enjoy it safely. Until next time, we'll catch you then.